All right, so I'm back after yet another hiatus here on YouTube. It's been probably a little over a month since I posted my last video. It feels like I'm doing these I'm back videos or I'm sorry for being away videos around the same time every year, around January, February, just because the last 3 months really have been absolutely insane for me. And I haven't been too consistent on YouTube uploads. It's been probably just a little over a month, if so, since my last video. So I decided, because it's a new year now, to make a little bit of an update video for you guys to know what I'm up to, what I'm going to be creating in the future for this channel, and also just kind of what life has been like for the last little while, because I've been able to do a lot of really cool things. I have a lot of cool projects that are coming out in the pipeline, and also a lot of really interesting opportunities on the way, not just for me work-wise, but also for this channel in the future of my, life as a content creator on the side of doing sports full-time. Is just to give you guys a bit of an update as to me being alive, me being back in action here on YouTube, and I'm really excited to just kind of have a video where I get to just chat about what I'm doing and not really structured around a tutorial or a piece of camera gear. This is really just an authentic update as to what I'm doing lately. Last few months have been pretty wild with a lot of really cool experiences that have obviously impacted my ability to upload here, but I wanted to talk about them a little bit because I want to share a little bit more about my life on this channel and share a little bit more about my journey. And that kind of stuff involves not just talking about sports videography, but just what I'm doing on the day-to-day. So in November, I was actually able to go back to Colombia for 3 weeks to visit my family after 8 long years. I have a ton of footage from that trip, a lot of stuff I captured that I'm really excited to share. How I'm gonna share it, I'm not sure yet, but it was such a fun experience just to see my family after 8 years of not being back, and just to experience what the culture is like back in Colombia, where I'm from. A really, really wholesome trip, and that was then followed by a trip to Switzerland, which I just got back from like a week and a half ago. I ended up going to Switzerland for a friend's wedding where I was the wedding videographer. And if you guys aren't familiar with me and what I do on the side of sports, me and my very, very good friend Kyle, who's basically my business partner at this point, run a wedding videography, a wedding filmmaking business on the side. So during the summer, when there's no hockey going on, I switch out shooting in rinks to going and shooting weddings. And believe me, shooting sports and shooting weddings are very, very similar. And that is probably a future video at some point down the line. And now I'm back in Toronto, where I'm happy to have my feet on the ground for the next little bit. But as you guys know, with my work schedule, January and February with the NHL gets super, super busy. So in just a few weeks, I'm gonna be going to the Four Nations tournament in Montreal, which means I'm gonna be away from home again, shooting one of the coolest events I think I've been able to shoot so far with my time at the NHL, purely because we have not seen a best on best tournament in a long, long time, since when I was like in high school, at least. And I'm really, really excited to shoot basically super teams of the best hockey players in the world. Probably going to be doing a few videos around that experience, so stay tuned. Really, really excited. But it's been really, really interesting for me being away for so long and having my feet in one place for a very little amount of time. Speaking of that, you're also going to notice I'm in a very different space now, and I'm gonna get into why. And it's not really that long of a story, but I am really excited to change up the atmosphere and the environment for where I create these YouTube videos for you guys. Because if you guys noticed before in all my other videos, I was in my bedroom, which is across the hall, and it was a very, very tight setup. And the reason I'm in a new space is because my roommate and close friend actually ended up moving out recently. And instead of me deciding on how and when to find another roommate to take this space up, I decided, you know what? I've always wanted an office space. I've always wanted somewhere different to create my content that is in my bedroom, because if you guys have a setup where your office and your desk is also in your bedroom, you're probably gonna relate that it's very, very difficult to focus and very, very difficult to create in a space that's also meant for you to relax and take time off from working. So I decided, again, instead of looking for someone else to take the space, that I would move my desk and my workstation into my former roommate's room, which is now my office. And I'm honestly, I can't explain how excited I am to have a space for myself to create in, because I found it so difficult down the line, like in the last few months, to just set up my camera in my bedroom, which was super cramped with my desk and my bed, and then to shoot these videos, because as much as I love doing it, the space for me wasn't inspiring enough. I was right up between my bed and my desk, didn't really have a lot of room to set up lights, didn't really have a lot of room to make it look as best as I can. Being in a brand new space, being in a brand new office is, I think, gonna really give me a new lease on creativity, not just for YouTube videos, but things I'm doing on Instagram, things I'm doing on TikTok. But it's specifically for YouTube, because I do think that pivoting into 2025, YouTube is something I want to take significantly more seriously than I have in many, many, many years before. And I think a really big catalyst for that is having this space. I mean, looking at it right now on this side, there's not much. I'm actually in the process of getting a new shelf. I'm gonna get like a nice chair for the side where people can come and relax and hang out and create together, or I can just chill and read a book, whatever. On this side, and I will actually just take my iPhone to take a video for you guys, even though it's kind of messy, and it would be great if my phone would just let me open the camera. All right, so here's the opposite side of what you guys are seeing on my YouTube setup right now. This is my desk, my workstation. It is a little messy because I've still been trying to figure it out, but as you can tell, I have a lot more room here to create and shoot my content. I have my desk here. I have a new little gear corner right here with a bunch of stuff. I actually have a closet, finally, that allows me to store all my camera gear here, along with the multitude of camera bags, et cetera, I have. But that will probably be a future video where I show you guys my workspace and my office setup, because I do want to optimize this to be a productive space for myself, but also one that allows me to create and shoot these videos and just continue to grow in this space. So expect a office tour video at some point soon when I get the last little finishing touches of this space done. I'm just excited to kind of have a brand new space. It feels like I moved into a new apartment, even though I really haven't. It's just having my own area to create and edit and do what I want to do in this creative space is a really, really refreshing thing, which I think will allow me to push this channel even further, like I mentioned before. And that's the next thing I want to talk about, is kind of the future of this channel, what you guys can expect from me, what I want to create, what I'm going to be posting in the coming weeks, in the coming months, for you guys to have an idea, because I think having this transparency with you guys is really important. And I want to tell you guys not just what I'm up to, but what I'm going to be making and how I'm going to be teaching you guys based off of the content I create on this channel. First things first, I do have a couple of really fun pieces coming out, specifically a race car driving documentary, which, if you guys are familiar with the channel, I actually shot this back in the summer, back in June of 2024. And after 5-6 months of post-production editing and just delays because of how busy I've been, I'm finally going to release it. I have like a few more finishing touches to put on the edit before I release it. I'm really excited to get deeper in this long form space that I've really been exploring recently. So I'm very, very excited to share this with you guys. It's a very fun documentary because I've never had to shoot race car driving as a sport for a documentary before. And it was a really, really big learning experience, but I'm really happy with the final product because it was kind of just something that came out of nowhere. And we had very little time to prep for, but I was really excited with the prospect of doing a race car documentary, and I'm thrilled with the outcome. So stay tuned. I'm really, really hoping to have that out in the next week or two for you guys. And following that, I will then have a breakdown as to how I shot it, how I edited it, how I pre-produced it, how that entire thing came together. I think with every major project that I do like that, I want to create a breakdown or a how-to or how I did it style video to give you guys that, the behind the curtain look as to how these long form videos are created and made. After the race car documentary and after that, following breakdown, I'm then going to be releasing another behind the scenes, how I shot it, how I made it style video for how I created a documentary surrounding the New York City Marathon. Back in November or October of 2024, I ended up going to the New York City Marathon to shoot a fellow creative and a very good friend now in Anthony Criscelli in his experience of running the New York City Marathon for the first time. Shooting a marathon is one of the more unique experiences I've ever done. I kind of shot one unofficial one a few years ago, actually, when I really started to create longer form content. And then this time around was shooting an actual marathon event. The New York City Marathon was absolutely bonkers. If you ever have the chance to go to your local city's marathon, 100% do it. The energy and the vibes are unmatched. But I just want to dive in on how I created a documentary surrounding such a major event and focusing on one runner's story. It is a project that has a lot of sentimental meaning for me, especially because I started running in the last year and I've really gone into it. I even signed up for my first marathon, which is happening in May. Training for that is going very, very well. I'm dealing with a bit of an injury right now, but so far so good. Now, obviously those two projects, the New York City documentary and the race car documentary, were all long form projects. And I know up until this point, my channel's definitely been geared towards shorter form content and more basic tutorials, tips and tricks, how to shoot sports, how to edit, et cetera, et cetera. And while I'm still going to do that, because I definitely want to remain, being the person I never had when I got into the space to teach me the basics and understanding of how to shoot sports at a high level, I also kind of want to shift gears and allow this channel to represent more of who I am right now and where I want to end up. I still obviously shoot sports for social media purposes like most people. That's part of my job with the NHL. That's something I love doing still. But I've definitely noticed and learned something about myself is that I want to create longer form content. I want to creative direct. I want to lead bigger campaigns. I want to do more high level work that isn't just social media sports video. I want to shoot more media days. I want to direct more media days. I definitely want to shoot more sports documentaries, whether they are really, really long form feature length documentaries or even shorter form short film, anything from like 3 to 10 minutes. Last year, I did set myself the goal of shooting 10 short films with 10 athletes. I am definitely pivoting my career further from shooting just for social, but shooting more for storytelling purposes. I definitely want to get more in my storytelling bag. I want to get better at lighting. I want to take aspects from cinematography and bring them into the sports world, because I think that's sorely missing in this side of the sports world and the creative side. So I kind of want to blend those two together and make that my niche even more. So while you're still going to get tutorials about how to shoot sports, the best gear, et cetera, I think I'm going to also take the time to make more content surrounding the projects I'm working on, hence the 2 breakdowns for the aforementioned projects. I want to go a little bit more into my creative process. I also want to go into the actual process I go through when it comes to networking, meeting people, putting myself in the right situations for work. I think where I'm going to pivot away from a little bit more is like, I'm not saying I don't like doing gear videos. People always ask me what camera I use. People always ask me what lenses are the best, and I'm still going to make those videos because you guys want to see them. But when I'm thinking about the grand scheme of things on YouTube, when you look at someone like Peter Sorellis or Beyond the Game TV, they do really, really well in making those videos. They are much better at making those gear focused videos than I am. And at the end of the day, like, I want to carve my own niche here amongst those 3 guys and the others who are coming up in the sports creative industry. Everyone is doing great work, but I kind of want to niche myself a little further and, not just be a sports videographer, but I've kind of started referring to myself as a sports cinematographer and a sports creative director. So as much as I'm still going to be doing that basic how-to and tutorial style content when it's asked for and when I want to do it, I do want to shift gears into more storytelling, more documentary work, more high-level projects. So I'm really excited to share more of that journey with you guys. I think it's going to be a really, really interesting journey. I think you can take a lot from the world of cinematography and apply it into the sports world. And I'm consistently surrounded by so many talented cinematographers in my circles here in Toronto. And so I'm just shifting gears a little bit. You're going to expect the same old content, but I do want to take it in a very new direction. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So hopefully you guys are also excited for that. If you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments down below. I still want to create the content that you guys want to see, but I also want to create the content that I want to share with you guys. So expect videos along that realm as well as I kind of continue to evolve. And it's really interesting for me seeing how I've grown in this space and how much my content is changing and my voice is changing. So I'm really excited to still create the same old, but also create something new and distinct for you guys to enjoy and to learn from. The Sports Creative Showcase is the next thing I want to update you guys on. I believe we are on episode 17 that just released, or 18. I have to double check. But I'm very, very close to wrapping up season 1. It has been really hard to get people on the podcast just because of the holidays and January and February, again, being very, very busy times. But I do have 2 more episodes coming out in this season, I believe, before it ends. I'm going to be doing a best of season 1 episode, kind of recapping the best bits and pieces of advice from my guests in season 1, and then I'm going to be kicking off season 2. I just do want to say a big thank you to those who have tuned into the podcast, whether it's been here on YouTube or Spotify. I have surprisingly gotten a lot of love on that series, and not surprisingly because of the information I'm giving. I know it's good because long form content like that can be pretty specific in terms of when to consume it, and you guys have really, really been enjoying it. And if it wasn't for the people who have been racking up the view counts and the listen counts on Spotify and Apple Music, I would not continue doing it. And if you guys have anyone you want to see on the podcast, make sure to shout them out in the comments. Leave me below. I'll reach out to them, or if you guys know them, get them to reach out to me. I would love to host as many different people in the sports industry from different niches to get all the perspective that you guys need, because I just enjoy sitting down with people, really chopping it up and getting to understand different creative processes and different ways to do things, and getting to share that with you guys and giving these people a voice is something I've really enjoyed doing. So expect that from the Sports Creative Showcase podcast, which has been a very, very fun project for me the last little while, and it will continue to grow as this channel does. The next thing I want to talk about is my digital storefront and 2 things that I'm releasing soon that I really hope you guys are excited for. If you guys weren't aware, I do have a digital storefront where I sell a lot of my assets, whether it's LUTs, Lightroom presets, different assets and resources for you guys to purchase is not just to support me in the channel, but also to give you guys assets and things that will speed you up and make you a better creator over time. And I'm gonna be releasing a brand new digital product, something that I've had in the works for pretty much over a year now. And then the other thing is bringing back a service that I sold through that digital storefront that I want to kind of just revive and bring back after rejigging it and replanning it after a long time of thinking about it. First things first, that digital product I'm talking about is going to be a guide, a strategy guide, a how-to booklet, basically the sports creative's guide to getting more job opportunities in the industry. And I'm not going to get into specifics as to what it is about, because I want to kind of leave a little bit of intrigue and surprise for you guys. But if you guys are either been in the sports industry for a little while and struggle to get media passes and struggle to get access to games, or if you're brand new to the sports industry and you're just figuring out how to get your foot through the door in some of these spaces, this digital product is not only just a guide and a how-to kind of way to do it, but I'm actually going to give you guys legitimate templates and resources you guys can use today to get more opportunities, to do better outreach in the sports industry. I'm really excited to release this product. Like I said, it's been a year's worth of work, kind of just working on it, getting feedback, sending it to different people, making new versions of it. I think I've made 6 or 7 different versions of this product already, but it's a very exciting guide that I want to bring to you guys. Kind of my first really big digital product that I've developed over a long time. So I have aimed to release it in February. We're February 2nd at the time of this video. So in a few weeks, expect a lot more videos and things surrounding this digital product, because I do want to bring you guys this. I'm very excited to really bring something that I think will make a difference in not just people's content creation ability, but their ability to network and find new opportunities and ways to put themselves out there. That's all I'm gonna say for now, but expect that digital product to be coming out in the next few weeks. The second thing I'm gonna be bringing back, like I said, is something I tried doing and I kind of had to sunset because I got so busy and I couldn't open it up again. But I decided to really take time to reinvent and reinvest in you guys and bringing back the sports creative mentorship that I ran last year. I believe I did this in sometime in the summer, fall of last year, where I opened up 7 slots for me to individually mentor different people in this industry, answer your questions, take time to work with you on what you wanted to learn, what you wanted to know from my end, my experience, and then get my advice on how you can grow your own career as a sports creative. I'm bringing that back in a much bigger and better way than before. It was definitely something I learned from the first time. I feel like I definitely helped those 7 people who I took on. I still talk with them to this day. I still check in with them. And I think for the most part, a lot of people did experience growth following my help. That's not pumping my own tires. That's just saying that these people took action in their own hands and took what I said and applied it in their own life. And I was really excited to see those results. And I really wanted to bring this mentorship back. I really wanted to make it perfect. And I know it's not going to be, because I'm learning through this whole process as well, but I've taken the last few weeks, the last couple months really, to sit down, rejig, and plan this thing out from start to finish. I will be capping the number of people I bring in just for my sanity and my time, because the hardest thing for me is balancing a full-time job, balancing content creation, and then balancing a mentorship program behind it. But I really do want to bring back the mentorship program for a version 2. So expect a program along the lines of, individual calls, group calls with other people, things like that, having check-ins much more consistently, and kind of seeing how people can grow within a 3 to 6 month span when I really take the time to sit down with you guys. Obviously, I created a lot of free content here on YouTube. I just can't answer everyone's individual questions all the time. So the creative mentorship is just a way for more one-on-one specific advice and help for you guys. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned as well. Really excited to bring that mentorship back to you and bring you guys this digital product in the next few months. If you guys go on my Sellify store and buy anything that is fully supporting me and this channel, and just know that if you've ever bought anything from me, or if you're thinking about it or are about to, I really appreciate it, because it means a ton to me that you guys are willing to invest in me and what I've put out for you guys. So yeah, big kudos to you guys who, if you've ever purchased something from me or are going to in the future, it means a ton to me and I really appreciate it. One of the last things I want to talk about is the growth of this channel, and a few things that I'm really excited for in terms of that growth. We are almost at 10K subs. We have been at like 9.3K for a little bit here. Obviously has not helped that I haven't uploaded in a bit, but nonetheless, very excited to get over that 10K hump. I could not have done it without any of you guys who have supported me from the beginning. And if you're new here, you just found my channel, or if you've been watching for a while and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps me grow the channel, it helps me grow my brand, and brings me a lot of really cool opportunities. So if you've been here for a while, thank you so much. If you haven't been here for a while or you're just subscribing now, I really, really appreciate it. I also want to give a quick thank you and show a little bit of love to a few brands who have taken the time to invest in me and this channel. And for me, that means a lot because I'm still a relatively small channel. 10K, almost at 10K isn't a lot yet, but there have been a few brands who have seen the value of my work, seen the value of what I'm doing, and have wanted to invest in me, whether it's sending me products or, even doing some sponsorship videos. So I just want to give a quick thank you to a few brands here. None of this is sponsored. This is just me genuinely showing my gratitude for brands who have been really, really good to me. First up, Hollyland. They have been fantastic to me. I want to just give you guys a big thank you for all the product you've sent my way, for the support you've given me on social media, for the interest on wanting to partner more and more as the channel grows. The reason I'm saying this is because they're not just sending me stuff to showcase on social media, they're sending me stuff that genuinely helps my creative process when I'm out shooting sports. I made a video a few weeks ago showcasing their Solidcom C1 Pro headsets, which are such a cool piece of gear for anyone working with a bigger creative team in the sports industry to try out. And they also have sent me a lot of audio pieces that I use on a daily basis. This is the most new one, the one that I have clipped right here. You may not have noticed it, but this is actually a wireless lav microphone. This is the Lark M2S. They just sent me these to try out. Like I said, this isn't an ad. This is my first time actually using the microphones, but so far, this might actually be a microphone that I would actually try miking up an athlete with, at least in certain scenarios. I never ever recommend you miking up an athlete with a prosumer level microphone, especially for a game or any contact sport. But the thing that makes this really interesting is the fact that it just clips onto your shirt and it's very, very hard to get off and also super unnoticeable. So I'm gonna give you guys a review on these when I have tried them out in different scenarios more, but I do wanna give a big thank you to Hollyland for just being a kind supporter of this channel, being a brand that clearly wants to work with different creators. So shout out to Hollyland. If you guys wanna check out their products, I'll leave a link down below for you to check them out. They are super, super kind, super great. Definitely recommend them if you guys need any kind of audio equipment or anything along that line. The next brand I want to give a quick shout out to is Audio, because they are the first music related brand in the creative space to reach out to me to partner with me on a affiliate level as of right now. So this is not a sponsored video, but I do want to give some love to them because they have given me access to their entire library for my last few YouTube videos, including this one. They are a fantastic licensing service for music for content creators like you and I. If you're creating videos here on YouTube, or even if you're creating videos for clients, Audio has been a really great resource for me to find high quality, really exciting, and just music for each opportunity as it comes. Whether you need something for a hype video or whether you need something for a bit more serious of a documentary, that's what I've been using for my music for the last little while on most of my projects and videos. And like I said, they reached out to me, they saw the value of my channel, they wanted to do a little bit of an affiliate partnership with me. So I wanted to give them some love. They have a lot of really cool features, including a link match AI feature, which you can use to find songs that are similar to songs that you may hear in the real world. So say you hear like a Hans Zimmer track that sounds really epic and you want to use that in your video, they have a program where you can literally copy and paste the link and put it in and find something very, very similar, which has been really useful for me for both the long form and short form documentaries. So yeah, I want to thank Audio for being an affiliate of this channel now. If you guys are interested in Audio as a music service for your creative needs, make sure to use the link down below in the description. And if you guys do, I do get a bit of a small kickback if you decide to sign up with them. So a big thank you to Audio for being someone who wants to invest in this channel. I really appreciate that so much. Big shout out to Hollyland as well. And I also have two different partnerships coming up in the future that are really, really exciting, not just for me, but for you guys as well. I'm not gonna say too much, but yeah, for two brands that I've been wanting to work with for a long time now, and finally the pieces are connecting and it's really, really looking like it's gonna come to fruition. So stay tuned for that. And again, if you guys support any of the brands that I shout out on this channel, you're supporting me as well. So, and I think that's kind of everything I wanted to talk about in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I know this was a little bit rambly, but I genuinely just wanted to have kind of a casual chat and update as to what I've been doing, what life's been like, and what you guys can expect in this channel. I want to have a bit more of these casual conversations moving forward, and not much as, structured videos like I've had in the past, like just more of me genuinely being myself. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I just got over the flu, so my voice has been definitely a little bit raspy as this recording's going along, but thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. And if you guys have enjoyed any of my videos so far, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you have any questions about anything I've talked about in this video, video, please leave them down in the comments below, as I would really, really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.